people who do the interfacing, there's no school for that. They have to find the people that our visitors have already chosen to follow throughout their life and to get them into the military and to recruit them into these specialized programs to be there in case they're needed for the interfacing. I'm quite sure those talks that we had was a catalyst that ultimately led to a decision being made that even though I was medically rejected from military service, I'd be permitted to enter military service. I know for a fact that the United States government knows much more than what it's telling the American people about alien life visiting this planet and the technologies that are involved, because I was part of that program. Interfacing is where you actually have the communication with our visitors at a crash site. But we wanted to get as much information as we could from them. That's when interfacing came into play. Within the 22 and a half years that I spent in the United States Army, there were those occasions in which I was called upon to be part of an elite unit that went out on recovery of crashed UFOs. I found myself from time to time having to interface or communicate with specific groups that we came in contact with of extraterrestrial life. Once we secured the area, there was nothing to worry about. The medical unit would come up and render the medical aid to any of our visitors that might be injured. They were doctors, and they couldn't talk to them. If they had to ask a question, then they had to have me or whoever the interfacer was there to talk to them. They had a book of 57 different species that we had thus far identified as visiting planet Earth. It was titled along the lines of guidelines on interaction with our visitors. They had pictures, so they at least had some contact with each and every one of those species that was there. But it went into some of their cultural backgrounds and some of the first aid treatments that we could render if they had certain injuries. The bad thing about being an interfacer is that when this interfacing is taking place, all the emotions that they're feeling, you're feeling. The emotions that you're feeling, they're feeling. I was picked up by a staff car and I went there. When I got there, I went on in back to the room where our visitor was at. When I got back there, you feel what they're feeling. And our visitor looked down at me, and I looked up at him. To this day, I'll never forget the words, "I am afraid." I tried to say, you know, we're not going to hurt you. We want to help you. And I went ahead and said, you know, as long as I'm here, no harm's going to come to you. And he says, but harm's going to come to you and others in this room. I went ahead and said, if you were outside, would that help? And he said, if I was outside, then there was nothing that would harm anyone. I told the colonel that, you know, he's wanting to show me something, but only me. Everyone else has to be back because anyone else is going to be in danger. So the colonel was hesitant at first, but then he went ahead and told everyone to clear the building. As soon as everybody was out, the ET and I made a beeline to the back door. I'm cutting the wire to just make enough space for him to get out. And I was tearing my hands up doing it. I kept hearing people in the back hollering, halt or we'll shoot, halt or we'll shoot. And I was really waiting to die that night. I mean, I expected to get shot. When he went out, there was this bright light. There's no way I can describe it. It just shined down, then went back up. And he was gone. The ET was no longer there. So they took me back in the building. And of course I have guards watching me. The colonel came and he said, "Do you know what can happen to you?" And I mean, he's very angry and telling me, "You could be court-martialed. You're in serious trouble." I think that the colonel was well aware of the fact that similar instances had happened before. When we had the various visitors in custody, we would refer to them as guests. But actually, they are, how can I put this? Technological prisoners. They have knowledge of technology beyond us, and we want that knowledge. The technology is so terrific and horrific that it can destroy every living thing on this planet. We were concerned about that technology falling into the wrong hands, also at the same time acquiring that technology, making a military application of it, so it gave us a better weapon. It was during the time of the Cold War. We were trying to acquire that technology and make it part of our technology as quickly and as rapidly as we could.